Saturday afternoon at the MCG. We're talking 70+ thousand for this game, the Saints and the Giants. And Ross Lyon is with us at the desk. Ross, it's great to have you again on 360. Welcome.
Thanks, Jared. Great to be here, mate.
Congratulations qualifying for finals. So 2015 was your last final series. Are you excited to be back?
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it? Saints MCG versus the Giants. Yeah, look, it's a privilege. The players have worked incredibly hard. I'm really pleased for the players, the coaching group, and in particular the whole club and its fans and members. And it's been a while between drinks, even that last appearance during COVID. So to hear 70,000 plus is really exciting.
Does it do it for you personally? Michael Voss sat in that chair last night. He lit up.
Come on.
Yeah, it's exciting to be back. It hasn't. A lot of discussion about this week off, but it certainly lets you just breathe out and gather yourself, and you can see players are going to hit the line fresh. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be a bit like round one. They'll be fully recovered, ready to go.
Do coaches have more influence on game day in finals compared to home and away games?
Well, I haven't been there for a while. In the past, you could. I had two runners going out non-stop. You could really influence, to be honest. So it's very difficult now and frustrating, and creates a lot of anxiety when you can see the problem, and I think you get two messages a quarter outside of goals, so it gets quite challenging. And with 3 minutes to go in a quarter, you can't send the runner, so it's really.
So what do you blokes do?
I go mad. In the end, you just give up. You sit there and become a spectator.
You don't use the water.
Well, no, you choose your players. So that's why experienced groups and your senior players that can problem solve. I saw a bit of footage with Stuart from Geelong, and I forget what game because we were preparing for him, and you could just see he's talking to the runner early, you know, you could see he was like a part of their coaching panel.
Have you got the experience?
We are.
So? We're young and old.
We're young, yeah, we're young, but we've got some good experience as well. I see the Giants have a lot more finals experience than us, but our leaders have stood up all year, really. Steele, Wilkie, Membry's obviously come in, Sinclair and Seb Ross, so we think they can lead as well.
A year of exploration was how you tagged it. What have you learnt so far?
Well, I've got a bit further up the hill than possibly maybe I thought or everyone thought maybe. But it certainly has. Found out a lot about the group, built a lot of relationships, and they've come to hand as quick a group as I've ever had to the model of anything's possible. And you've got to bring it to life daily with action. So they've been incredible with that. But and all kudos to my coaching panel. It is done differently, a lot of collaboration, and Harvey, Hayes, Enright, along with the development team, have been incredible. I get frustrated that at times I'd love to be able to do more, but it's nice to be in my box also.
Yeah, there was a period there, 3/4 of the way through the season, and St Kilda were labouring a little bit, and
100%,
people were coming at you, and I come down and had a nice cup of tea with you, and we watched training, and you said the ladder doesn't lie. And then I thought, okay, there's a big comment because you had some big games coming.
Yeah.
And you got through them.
Yeah.
And
you got through them strongly.
Yeah, you did. And I thought, so what turned it around exactly from that labouring period to not just win games, but gather that momentum and confidence? Yeah,
it's a complex. That's a simple question, but it's a complex answer. It's a long, hard year, and you do have ups and downs. We worked hard. We started with a bang, we dipped, and I was a bit frustrated, group was, but because they were so honest, it was easy to identify the areas. And sometimes the more desperate you are to go quick and score, the less likely you are to score, and the more you're playing the opposition hand. So it's probably just bringing some composure back to our football, and just building in some areas that have been important and have made us more. Up until the weekend, the Lions were just a bit too good for us around the ball. But prior to that, Geelong, in Richmond, we scored really quite well and had a really good balance to our game, which we aim to bring this week.
What you do have, and anyone who's watched St Kilda games this year, you've got a never say die attitude. I know it's a cliche, but you blokes, like the Giants, who you're playing this week, they don't put up the white flag either.
No, they go to the end.
So do you blokes.
Well, we pride ourselves practising going to the ends because we think we'll need it this weekend coming. And the Giants have won, I think, 16 last quarters, and we've won 13. So we both sit in the top quartile for last quarter performances. So
what's that? Is that fitness or is that mental?
I think it's both. I think it's game style. It's certainly a mental toughness, the ability to endure and not be defined by the scoreboard when it's getting away from you. We've come from behind a number of times. So I think both teams have got some similar traits, no doubt.
In the hardest weeks, so probably the Suns' performance is that one.
Yeah.
You noted when the top flights weren't going, you felt you didn't quite have the quality and the depth. Was that a little sting to some of those blokes? Have they risen since that moment?
Yeah, every time you speak, even tonight, like particularly post-game, you're speaking to your members, but in particular, I know my players are listening. So you never separate yourself from the performance. It was a frustrating I said that day we were a fumbling, stumbling mess, and when our top flight, and I'm talking about when Sinclair wasn't going, people weren't stepping up. Whereas during the year that we were clean, we were coordinated, so I knew we had more in us, and you got to be a bit careful because then people outside of the club probably pick up on that and will start to run with their own little agendas, which I've learnt pretty quickly. So, morale's been strong all year. We're a pretty tight bunch, and you are sending messages, and coaching sometimes about getting an effect down the track.
So but the art of coaching in there.
Well,
somewhere.
it's a fine line, though. It's a very fine line.
Don't worry about individuals. Talk. Yeah. What are the Giants' strengths? Because they've got a lot. They've got a few. So when you're looking at them this week, just for the people at home, the Saints fans, what do you have to try and quell or subdue?
Yeah, well, obviously Adam Kingsley's brought a lot, and I'd work with him. They've won 10 out of the last 12. The best equivalent last quarter team. They're an up-tempo, take-ground surge team. They're locking it in their front half very well. And not unlike us, they've got some youth that are really stepping up for them, but some top-flight talent, Whitfield, Canelio,
playing top of their game.
Callie, Hogan. You're talking, if you go back to, they're pick 1s and 2s. So they've always been there. They've got a lot of finals experience. But they're being complemented by a lot of hard workers, and people are stepping up in roles like Daniels, obviously, and Taylor. Will he play or not play? I'm not too sure. But then you've got Buckley, and Himmelberg's been there a while. And Flynn's really stepped up like a Rowan Marshall. So I think they've got a lot of really good role players. They've got great clarity on how they need to play, and that brings in an energy and enthusiasm. And you hear them talk, they've got a lot of self-belief, but we understand them pretty well.
Right, so you've got a midfield group with a bit of experience, I mean...
Us?
Yeah,
Steele,
yeah. Crow, you got Seb Ross.
I got Seb Ross, Crouch, Steele, Owens, Philippou.
So, I wouldn't say Philippou's loaded.
Well, he's been going through there.
But what's the message? Because that midfield group that we just spoke about with the Giants and your midfield group, that contest is probably going to decide the game, I reckon.
Yeah, it's won and lost in the midfield.
Okay, so do you talk to the midfield group, or does Banger Harvey sit down and talk to them about process or the challenge? Who does that?
Well, Lenny Hayes is our midfield coach, to be clear.
Okay,
halves. He's a handy midfielder in the background.
He's an assistant coach.
Look, we just play our way, to be honest. There'll be slight little tactical adjustments across the field, but how we play is how we play, and I think that's exciting. When you get the finals, everyone's got strong signatures, so we're just got to believe and bring our best to the table. Fundamentally, we haven't tagged all year, so Steele will get to work. Who will he have? Canelio or Green, who's a big beast, and our guys and Rowan Marshall, they've played each other before. It was pretty tight, really, to be honest, up there. So they've improved a lot, and we feel we know our game inside out now. And that exploration, we realised when we dipped what was going wrong. So we know when it's breaking down what it is. So they'll get to work in there. Like you got Wood on the wing who's experienced, and Windhager's been running out on the wing. So we'll let them go. You've got to back your group in. I'm experienced enough to go, I'm not trying to invent anything new. We're going to back ourselves in.
In what you've got available, so will Josh Battle be clear to play?
Yeah, it was a really good point. He went through those protocols. It was a lightish knock against... Can you have light knocks? I've seen worse. So he just went a bit south. So he's cleared the protocols. I was speaking to Dougal Howard. He's leaned in. He's ready to go. He's keen to play. But Cordy's been going well. So that is a tough one because they've both contributed. And Seb Ross is going to push to the line. He'll have to convince me throughout this week to get across the line.
Convince you physically?
Well, it's a hamstring, and it was really quite minor, but it had been a recurrence, but he's one of our leaders, so gee whiz, he plays well fresh, but it's a big call going into a final.
The Howard Cordy one, you said, is a tough decision.
Yeah. I'm very loyal to the people that have done the job, right? So
Cordy's been fantastic for her in his role.
Yeah, look, and more importantly, early in the year, our young forward line, he played the first 7 games when we were just no King, no Membry. We were just babies coming eating Philippine and Owens.
Taking marks and kicking goals in third quarters.
Yeah, it was incredible, and Doug really stood up all year and played well against the Giants last time. So, we'll get to Corey Enright, the halfback whisperer, can make that final decision.
So we see that surge you're talking about, and they're dynamite.
Yeah, they're going.
Bedford's up for appeal, so if he might play, he's going to...
Yeah, what do you think on that one?
No, I think he shouldn't be suspended.
Yeah, right.
What do you think?
Of course he should go.
Take your hat off. Come on.
You won't believe this, I haven't seen the incident.
No, I don't.
I haven't dived into it.
We could probably rectify that if you wanted.
Yeah, we can have a look.
We'll push a button, we'll find it.
Intentional high off the ball.
Watch your screen, here it is.
Have a look.
It's a shepherd block.
Oh, gee.
We have to do it again. That's right.
There's a lot I could say, but I won't.
Do you think he should be suspended?
Oh, look, I can't buy into this.
Oh, you can. So what are they going to do?
You don't pay me enough to buy into this one. I'll have Adam Kingsley. You seen the size of his gun?
He's big.
It's probably only fair to say that he is watching at the moment as well.
He will be watching.
You got on the MCG today, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
How valuable is that a few days out?
Well, we weren't sure we had the opportunity, and you like routine, but the players were excited today. Was really vibing down there. So, after doing, I think really worthwhile. So, able to do full ground movement, just get the feel of the rooms. I went up to coach's box and just familiarise yourself with it. It was and kick for goal. It's unique kicking. We've seen finals won and lost because it's a unique space. So we don't get on there like last time. I think we played the Tigers and Essendon there, and both pretty strong performances in a real sense. So. But exciting, right? I was a bit concerned about the crowd numbers, but it's great to see that it's going to be about 70,000.
How many times have you played the MCG this year?
Twice, I think. Essendon, round 3 in the 150th, which we were really quite strong, and Richmond in a tussle, and they got us in the way.
I got you in the
Answer Robbo's question. So this is your 21st final as coach. What have you learnt about finals through the years?
I'm lucky. Yeah, there's some stuff, when you don't make calls. You look back and you reflect. Look, it's very, very difficult. The hardest thing is letting go of the result. That's the anxiety piece, right? Bigger the outcome, bigger the result, bigger the anxiety. So that's the challenge that coaches dive into.
What about the game itself? What changes?
Well, I don't think there's anyone rolling up saying I'm having a bad day and I'll wait till the next week and I've had a blue at home and I'm a bit distracted today. Like, there's singular focus, that nervous energy. The football. It's like a big Friday night game, I suppose, isn't it? The world's watching. And reputations are made. We know that, and broken. So to stand up under the heat, I'd like to think I've been privileged to have teams that the Saints and the Dockers, some mentally tough teams, the Geelong performance, and have stood up. In a real sense, even grand finals, bar the replay, we could have gone either way. A lot of them, they certainly didn't crumble mentally. So, you got to have a real teamsmanship, total team, and a mental toughness. And the teams, no one gives up. Right? No one stops.
No one stops.
It's great to have you back in the finals picture, and you're going to be back with us on Monday night, however it goes. So,
Chris is on board, so. I'll lean in there, win or lose. I'll front up.
Be happy if you lose. Be mightily happy when you win.
Well, you can be happy and have no regrets if you give everything you got. So that's the plan.
Ross Lyon with us ahead of the Saints' return to the finals. Chris Scott will be his coaching partner on Monday night when we look back on how it all unfolds.